Laura Ingraham crushes the Trump haters in an epic way. Conservative radio host Laura Ingraham fought back against the groups of liberals who are trying to paint conservatives as monsters for wanting to repeal DACA. Americans are dreamers too. They have a lot of dreams that have not been fulfilled because of a variety of reasons. A lot of them have to do with politicians not doing what they said they would do, said Ingraham on an interview with Fox. American citizens want a better life. They want their kids in schools that aren't overcrowded. They want health care that doesn't rise in its costs 20%, 18% a year, so that's number one. Number two, I think people have to understand what DACA is really all about. It's about giving work permits and federal benefits to people who are as advanced in their age as the age of 36, she said. Even though liberals try to say that DACA is all about the children, you can't even apply to it unless you're in between the ages of 15 and 36. DACA is nothing but a way for the government to allow people to get away with committing crimes. Do you think that Ingraham is right? Do you think it is time to shut DACA down? Or do you disagree? Check out Laura Ingraham in the video below. Former Reagan official goes off the walls, 100% of Trump supporters are racists. Bruce Bartlett, who once worked as Treasury under George H.W. Bush and domestic policy under Reagan, tried to gain some relevancy by declaring that all Trump supporters are racist. There is no longer any doubt all, 100%, of Trump supporters are racists. If you don't like it, FKU, he wrote on Facebook. How edgy. He faced a lot of backlash but continued his assault. If I had said that all members of the KKK are racists, no one would doubt that I am right. The KKK has a long history of racism and no one would believe a person who joined in ignorance of that fact. Same with Trump, argued Bartlett. As the criticisms continued to pile, he clarified his statements more. I did not say all Trump voters are racists, nor did I even imply that all Republicans are racists. What I said is that all Trump supporters are racists. That means the people who support Trump now, today, after all his horrible racist statements and actions. Those people are racists, he wrote. When people objected to this, he acted like any other liberal. He insulted people and then blocked them and played the victim for defending themselves. It's interesting that many of those I have blocked today for objecting to being called racists because they support a racist president have Confederate flags on their home pages, honoring those who fought for slavery and treason, he wrote. And many have used the exact same terms to ridicule my manhood. It's almost like it's an organized effort. They will never be heard from again, he wrote proudly. Coward. Nancy Pelosi attacks President Trump over DACA immediately after she promised not to. Nancy Pelosi recently claimed that she would stop criticizing the president so much. But it didn't take long for her to break that promise. The voters don't want to hear us criticizing the president. This was a choice, they made a decision. And to criticize the president personally is to disrespect their judgment, she said. Now she is saying something very different. President Trump's decision to end DACA should break the hearts and offend the morals of all who believe in justice and human dignity. This cruel act of political cowardice deals a stunning blow to the bright young dreamers and to everyone who cherishes the American dream, she wrote in a statement. Strangely, the president has chosen to pardon someone who shares his anti-immigrant views, Sheriff Arpaio, who was convicted, while punishing young children who are innocent, she continued. Congress must move immediately to protect these courageous, patriotic dreamers. House Republicans must join Democrats to pass legislation to safeguard our young dreamers from the senseless cruelty of deportation and shield families from separation and heartbreak. Democrats will stand firm with dreamers and redouble our efforts to protect our nation's families from the Trump administration's mass deportation agenda, she wrote. What should offend the morals of Americans is trying to defend the illegal actions of millions of people. Is Nancy Pelosi a fraud? Tucker Carlson destroys Paul Ryan for lying to voters. Ever since President Trump was elected, The Congress has failed to do its job. President Trump was right that Congress is a corrupt swamp that needs to be drained. Despite Paul Ryan and the GOP promising to help repeal Obama's policies, it appears that they have come to defend them over and over again. Republicans won big last fall. Not simply because they weren't the party of Hillary Clinton, but because they promised to undo key parts of the Barack Obama legacy. So far, they haven't. Congressional Republicans could not come together to repeal Obamacare. They did not defund Planned Parenthood. They definitely don't want to build a border wall, said Carlson. But now, almost 10 months into the Republican Congress, top Republicans on Capitol Hill have finally found an issue they can really rally around: preserving President Obama's immigration policy, said Carlson. He went on to explain DACA. That's an Obama-era program which apparently illegally gives work permits to illegal immigrants who arrived in the country as children. Killing that program would fulfill one of the Trump campaign's promises. It would also fit with the Republican Party's stated position against amnesty and in favor of enforcing the law rather than granting politicized immunity. Yet, Republican leaders in Congress are scrambling to preserve DACA, said Carlson. Do you think he's right? Check out the video below. Breaking: beloved Fox host just abruptly retired after 18 years. There has unfortunately been a great deal of staff turnover at Fox News in the past 2 years. The conservative network has witnessed the departure of leading on-screen personalities such as Bill O'Reilly, Greta Van Susteren and Andrea Danteros, as well as behind-the-scenes leaders such as Roger Ailes and Bill Shine. Now, sadly, one more well-known Fox News host has said his goodbyes to his viewers, this time making the voluntary decision to leave. In a highly surprising move, Fox and Friends host Clayton Morris made the announcement on air that, following that day's episode, he would be leaving not just Fox News but all of broadcast television behind. Stated Clayton during the show, fighting back tears, "I've decided after 18 years in broadcast television." He added, "I didn't think I was gonna do this. That today will be my last day in television." The show then played highlights of Morris' work on the program. Morris continued to his viewers, "I don't think you'll see me on television ever again." He stated that he was going to work on helping regular Americans learn how to build up their personal wealth. He concluded, "Love you all. I'll miss you all." Commented Clayton's wife Not Holly via Twitter, "Watching my husband at Clayton Morris anchor his last show on Fox. I'm really proud of how he's represented himself over the last 10 years. Clayton himself posted on Twitter, "Walking into this studio for the final time this morning. 18 years in broadcast morning television. I'm grateful, but I'm ready to rock." Will you miss seeing Clayton Morris on Fox News? Watch below. Representative Gutierrez encourages illegals to fight in the streets to get what they want. It seems like Democrats are becoming the party of violence more and more often. Democratic Representative Luis Gutierrez encouraged Dreamers to take to the streets and fight in order to get what they want. This president will do anything to target immigrants and families across our nation because he thinks it's good for him politically, no matter how wrong it is for our nation. But you know something? We're better as a nation than he is as President of the United States of America, said Gutierrez in a YouTube video. We fought hard, and we took on President Barack Obama. We marched, we went to court, we were arrested, and we won. And we will win once again. I want to tell all the Dreamers and everyone in our immigrant community and our friends and our allies, we are stronger than we have ever been before, and we are ready to resist any attempt to revoke the work permits, the Social Security cards, the legality that has been conferred upon 800,000 of our youth, said Gutierrez. Yes, we will be on the streets fighting, he confirmed. Yes, we will go to the courts to fight, and we will also insist that our friends and our allies in the Congress of the United States don't sign a budget, don't support a budget, don't collaborate with Republicans and give us a budget unless there is a safe place legislatively, an avenue legislatively, that secures the future for the 800,000 DACA recipients. Let's be clear. We are going to fight in the courts, we are going to fight in the streets, but also we are going to fight in the Congress of the United States to make sure legislatively we have a solution, said Gutierrez. Is this talk dangerous? Check out the video below. He's not my bride. Putin makes one of the most bizarre speeches about President Trump ever. Immature liberals have been trying to paint President Trump and Putin as a couple because Trump won't be as hateful to him as they want him to be. President Trump can recognize that Russia is a huge power and it would be smart and good for the whole world for us to be able to get along. Liberals don't like this one bit. And Putin crushed liberal fantasies of the two together in a recent bizarre speech. In a press conference, Vladimir Putin was asked if he was disappointed in President Trump. He responded that this was a very naive question. "He's not my bride, and I'm also not his bride or groom," said Putin. "Trump is guided by the national interests of his country, and I by mine. I very much hope that we will be able, as the current US president has said, to reach some compromise in resolving bilateral and international problems," Putin said. He also spoke out against North Korea. He said that the only way to stop the crisis was through diplomacy and warned against military hysteria. "We know that North Korea has nukes, we also know that North Korea has long-range artillery and it has other types of weapons, and there are no weapons against long-range artillery, and these weapons can be difficult to locate. So we think that this military hysteria will not lead to good results. It could lead to global catastrophe with lots of victims," said Putin.